And welcome to the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I am joined today by Jordan Main. He is president of Maine Financial Group, and joined by Adam Freund. He is CRC, Certified Retirement Counselor with the Maine Financial Group. To our viewers at home, what we're talking about today is something that's so simple. There's a difference when it comes to working with financial advisors, and we know that you're turning on the news every single night and you don't know what to believe. Markets are up, markets are down. Things are going great, things are going not so well. Well, how do you listen through the noise? How do you make the right decisions? And if you're currently working with a financial advisor, how do you know that you're with the right one? Are they educating you on the things that are important? We're going to talk about that today. Jordan, how are you?
I am great. Excited to be here, as always, with you. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you so much for asking. And Adam, how are you?
Well, I was going to say fantastic, but super. Thank you.
Super. Me too. I'm excited about today's show because there is a difference when people are in the viewing audience and they're thinking, you know, I need to pick a financial advisor, but I don't even know where to start. Better still, if you have a financial advisor at home and you haven't heard from your financial advisor in 5 or 6 years, that could be a red flag. But Jordan and Adam, you're so passionate about two things: education and second opinions. Let me ask you, Jordan, why is that so important to our viewers today to know that?
Absolutely. So I am the son of two educators. Both my mom and dad were school teachers, and we were taught the value of education from a very little age. And I bring that into our client base, into our teachings at our firm. To educate is to empower someone. And we can't just go without over-educating our clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Education is key. I, too, am a product of an educator. My dad was a band director when I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Okay.
But education is really a key. You don't want to go into some of these places and feel like you're being sold to or anything like that. You want to know exactly what it is that is in front of you and have a good understanding. You never want to take something at face value. You need to have a good educational understanding.
I love that you said understanding, because so often we hear people say, you know, I met with a financial advisor, but they were talking over my head. I didn't understand a thing that they were saying. So I sat there and I smiled and I nodded, but left and not knew anything about what they were even being spoken about. So Jordan, I have to ask you, obviously education, as you know, knowledge is power. Let's tie that into being easy to understand as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing that drives us absolutely nuts is, just say you're out to dinner with a group of people, and around the discussion of the dinner table, the finance topic comes up, and people say, well, why are you invested in this or doing this? And the answer of, well, I don't really know. My financial person put me into this strategy.
Yes.
We want our clients to respond, well, we're doing this, this, and this to accomplish tax strategy, guaranteed income, efficient sector investing, whatever it may be, so they truly understand what they have.
Yeah, they become walking billboards for us because they know so much that they start empowering or imprinting that education on them. And then, wait, my guy doesn't talk about that. Who are you with again?
Yeah.
So that's how we get referrals a lot of times.
I love that. And obviously people are sometimes creatures of comfort. We know that. But how important is it to have a second opinion from a fresh set of eyes?
Well, like we always say, you can't get a second opinion from the person that gave you the first.
True.
And a personal story that really impacted our family. Years ago, my father, who was a college football player, developed back issues later in life, into his 50s. And he's a large guy, and they said, well, it's probably from all the years of banging helmets, and you probably need some disc fusion and back surgery and all of that. And at the very last minute, Dad said, I want to go to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, their big group, just for a second opinion.
Yeah.
And they put him through a 3-day stretch of every test you can imagine. And when they came back to him, they said, Mr. Main, you don't have any back issues, but what you do have is a fingernail clipping size cancerous tumor that is lodged in your vertebrae.
Wow.
That is not detectable for a general cancer screen.
Wow.
And with that being said, they said we could do a proactive approach to help deal with the situation. And it was a terrible cancer called multiple myeloma. And they said if you would have done nothing and got your back surgery, and by the time they would detect this cancer, you would have had maybe a year to live. And this was 20 plus years ago.
Oh my gosh.
But because he underwent some treatment ahead of time, he was able to live 13 more years before he passed away.
Wow.
And he did not pass away from cancer, just older age and what have you. But he was able to witness grandchildren being born, retired, and him and my mom were able to do some things. And so the value of that second
My
opinion, and for
goodness.
all of those that are out there that have current investment advisors, financial advisors, and have a plan, it never hurts to have a second set of eyes on that plan just to make sure it's the right path.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I have to kind of go with Jordan here on that. It's just so weird because I don't think I ever heard that story until today. So my dearly departed mother-in-law was complaining about back issues. Same type of thing, back issues. She couldn't figure it out. And her doctor said, take some Advil, do whatever. She kind of knew that there was something kind of not right about
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
She had never had back issues before. So she finally went and saw another doctor, and the doctor said, I kind of agree with you. I think we need to get some more extensive tests. As it turned out, she had stage 4 metastatic breast cancer.
Oh.
Now, she went to get her mammogram every year, never showed up on a mammogram. It was
Wow.
like fine granules of sand.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
And from the moment of diagnosis to when she passed away was 9 years because medicine basically kept up with her
Yeah.
until that point in time. One of the things that we don't really talk about, especially in personal situations, is they had a life insurance policy. And I will tell you that we would give up that $100,000 that my father-in-law got to have her back.
Absolutely.
But oh my goodness, he could use that money. It
Yeah.
helped quite a bit.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
and the value of a second
Second
opinion changed the remaining amount of years
She
in what
would
the family
have been dead a lot sooner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
So it's and you bring that to your financial life to say you owe it to yourself to give your retirement plan a second look and a second chance.
100%.
You most definitely do. And most importantly, let me talk a little bit about this, Adam. Both you and Jordan are fiduciaries. Why is that important for the viewing audience to know when it comes to retirement planning and their best interests?
Well, that's exactly what you just said. As a fiduciary, and we're licensed fiduciaries, that means that we have to put your best interest before ours. It doesn't matter what we get from it, it's really what matters most to you. And we have to
Yes.
make recommendations based upon what's best for you, not what's best for the two of us. And you have to understand that there are other people that are out there that are licensed. Typically it's the big box, but you never know, that are brokers. And there is a difference between being a Series 7 broker and being a fiduciary 65. And we take that very seriously and very much at heart.
Adam, thank you so much. Jordan, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, there's a number to call on your screen, 888-462-7839. And if you're in the viewing audience today and you're asking yourself, am I working with the right advisor? Does my advisor have the fiduciary license? Are they looking out for my best interest? Do I need a second opinion? If you're unsure, please pick up the phone and call in, 888-462-7839. Remember, you've worked your entire life to get through retirement years. You deserve to have the retirement of your dreams, and you won't know if you're going to have the retirement of your dreams until you make that call today, 888-462-7839. And what are you calling in for exactly? I'm glad you asked. You are calling in for the Maine Money Report. What this is a holistic written retirement plan that's going to encompass all of your retirement dreams and goals. Let these gentlemen take a look at what your current situation is and design a plan that's going to fit your needs. All you have to do is do one thing, pick up the phone, call in, 888-462-7839, or grab your smartphone. Even simpler still, open up the camera app, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page for Maine Financial Group. You can claim your time accordingly and have one of these beautiful Maine Money reports drawn up for you. We're going to take a very short commercial break. We're talking about there is a difference when it comes to financial advisors. Stay tuned.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter, the one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I am joined today by Jordan Main, president of Maine Financial Group, as well as joined by Adam Freund. He is CRC, Certified Retirement Counselor at Maine Financial Group. And we're talking all about the fact that there is a difference when you work with different financial advisors and when you choose the right advisor for you. So, Jordan, I want to ask you a question. Why did you start Maine Financial Group, and why did you decide to serve in this field?
Absolutely. And I know we've talked about this in other episodes, but I was a tax accountant right out of college, and I developed an anger towards brokers. Let's just call them brokers.
Okay.
We would share a client. Let's say, Cynthia, you were our client, and I would do the tax return, and the broker would get you to buy and sell without any tax strategy. And I would clean up the mess, meaning your tax return. And I'd have to report the bad news to you that you owe a lot of money to taxes. So then I would say, Cynthia, can you go back to that broker and please ask them, before you trigger any taxable events, to do some planning ahead of time so that we can eliminate or mitigate some of these issues? And what do all the brokers say?
I don't give tax advice. I can't do that.
I'm not allowed legally.
I'm not allowed legally to say anything.
So then Cynthia would come back to me, the tax accountant, and say, well, what do we do now? And our tax firm was only looking in the rear for tax preparation. So I saw a huge window of getting tax planning married up to investment strategy, the retirement strategy, and that's when I opened Maine Financial Group.
And I have to ask, or I have to add to this, is that not only did he open this up, but Jordan really kind of had this vision of, as we talked about earlier, about educating the client, not telling them what to do, being more of a consultant than saying you must do it this way or the highway. The other thing that you made the decision was, when we're doing investing, we're trying to basically save the people as much money as we can, put money back into their pockets. One of the things that you made a decision on very early on is that you did not want to deal with mutual funds, that you just want to deal with ETFs and stocks. And the reason is because those mutual funds have, they call expense ratios or expense fees.
Layers and layers
of fees. Whereas an ETF, an exchange traded fund, has very, very low fees and can be sold at a moment's notice versus a mutual fund which has to wait to the end of the day. So there are some important things that he put into place.
Right, and I think the other part, we closed our tax practice to what's called a private tax practice. So we only do tax work for our investment clients. We are their personal CFO, for a lack of a better term. So we file all the tax returns at no cost to make sure that the client's tax situation is effective and the strategy is appropriate.
Jordan, thank you. Adam, I want to ask you a question. Obviously, there's a difference between working with a big box firm, if you will, and being independent. Let's share that with the audience. Why is that a difference?
Well, great question. I actually started with a big box firm. And my field of what I could, the tools I could use, the sandbox I could play in was about this much. And while I would try to make whatever I needed to do for the client work, I was limited to what I could do. Okay. I then went from there to the banking system. And when you're an advisor in a bank, your toolbox becomes much bigger. But again, I wasn't comfortable enough because I knew that there were other things out there that were much more appropriate for the people than what the bank or the big box people would tell me I could sell. So becoming an independent, going in the independent route, opens that toolbox up to everything that's practically out there so that we can make the best decision for what is their best decision or in their best interest. The other thing is that we also know that there are other firms out there that say, "Oh, I hate annuities," something like that. They repeat it all the time.
Almost sounds like them.
It almost sounds like
and
him.
you should too.
Yeah, here's our.
The thing is that you're not going to go to a builder to build a house and say, okay, you build a house, but you can only use a hammer, saw, and nails. That's ridiculous.
That's true.
Absolutely ridiculous.
You're right.
So when you hear someone say, I hate annuities, absolutely ridiculous. You need a whole gamut of different tools to use and build that house so that it is perfect.
Yes.
Use as many tools as you can.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I think that it comes down to the value of choice. Right, to be an
Absolutely.
independent advisor, we can use anything out there. We have choices. When Adam was, like you said, at the big box firm and at a bank, you really have limitations. So for all the clients out there or the people watching at home, how much do you value having choices?
Yes.
And an independent advisor has all the choices in the world.
Well, one of the other things that we hear so often is that people are grouped into categories or they feel like they're just a number. How do you help your clients not feel like either one of those?
Absolutely. We develop customized strategies for every one of our portfolios. And as we talked earlier, or I think in other episodes, age really isn't as important as what you want, your overall risk tolerance.
Yeah.
A lot of times they say if you're older, you should be more conservative, and if you're younger, you should be more aggressive. Well, I don't believe in that. I think it's whatever that you want, and your portfolio should represent that. It shouldn't be one of 8 or 12 pre-made models, if you will. We do very customized planning.
Yep.
Okay. And Adam, how important is proper communication between the advisor and the client? And I'm asking you this question because we so often hear that people don't hear from their advisors for like a year, sometimes 2 years. That seems a little crazy to me, especially with so much going on in the news right now.
Right.
Market volatility, tax increases potentially. Let's talk about communication.
Well, I think communication obviously is such a key. To be able to not only tell people, just where their accounts are, but also kind of give them an update, a state of the union as to where
Yes.
the market is. What do we see coming? We actually, in years past, have looked at the market forward and said, you know what, maybe right now is the time to make a pause. And we'll call our clients up and say, hey, we're looking at it, and we'll leave it up to them. If they want to take a pause, we'll get them
And
to
by
cash.
take a pause, we say, think of it as a timeout and go to the sidelines for a drink. Essentially, move into cash and see what goes on with the stock market.
Right.
So that's exactly what Adam's talking about.
Yeah, and then if some of them say yes, some of them say no, but they always say, well, we've never had a call from. It's not like Microsoft will call you up and say, hey, by the way, the software you're using, you might want to take a pause right now. We got to fix it.
Yeah.
You're not going to. You don't want your advisor that you're working with to be beta testing on you, especially
True.
when the market is like this.
Yeah, and I think we don't have a preset list
No.
we need to. We're only going to see you once a year, which is kind of the standard in our industry, right?
Right.
We have clients that come in every month. We also have clients that I have one client that lives on a boat and sails the world.
That's true.
And we
That's
meet once a
fantastic.
year at a marina down in Florida and do a review. And he says, only call me if there's an emergency or an issue.
I
So
love that.
we let every one of our clients kind of dictate their own. I would like to either we reach out to a client or we hear from them every quarter. Maybe we'll send them an email, a state of the union of how the market's doing, what's going on with interest rates. But it's not a one size fits all at all.
Nope.
Well, thank you, Adam. Thank you, Jordan. To our viewers at home, there's a number to call on your screen. That number is 888-462-7839. And what you can see today by watching our show is that, yes, there is clearly a difference when it comes to Maine Financial Group. These are gentlemen who are licensed fiduciaries. They want to get to know you. They want to listen to you. They want to design this amazing Maine Money Report for your individual retirement needs. Now, the key word there is individual retirement needs, because this is not going to be something that's cookie cutter. It's not blueprint. This is exactly what your needs are. So when you pick up the phone and call in, you're calling in for that complimentary consultation, 888-462-7839. If you don't have your pen handy or you're running out the door, you can grab your smartphone. Click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Maine Financial Group's landing page, and you can claim your spot accordingly to have the Maine Money Report drafted for you. You deserve this. You've worked your entire life, and as you can see, you deserve to have the retirement of your dreams by having one of the Maine Money Reports drawn up for you. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're talking all about there is a difference when working with financial advisors and choosing the right one. We have so much more when we return.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place and then help determine if you're well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision, so why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you're getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
Welcome back to the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I am joined today by Jordan Main. He is president of Maine Financial Group, as well as Adam Freund. He is CRC, Certified Retirement Counselor with Maine Financial Group. And we're talking all about the fact that, yes, there is a difference when you choose a financial advisor. You deserve to work with the best. Jordan, I want to ask you a question. What is the difference in some of the pitfalls, if you will? People are going into retirement. Let's talk about what you can do to have it be put on paper. Like, why is that something that's so valuable to someone that's in the viewing audience today? Why do they want the Maine Money Report in writing?
Absolutely. So we use a little acronym of LIST, L-I-S-T. These are what we call eroding factors or things that could derail your retirement plan. And we stress test your plan using the Maine Money Report. So let's start with the L, longevity. What if I screw up and live too long? Is the number one fear of baby boomers.
Right.
What if I outlive my money?
Yeah.
How can I guarantee a stream of income that I won't outlive? But if I do live an extremely long life, what about long-term care, health term? I think we all know someone that's either in a facility or been in one.
Yep.
The cost is skyrocketing through the roof.
Absolutely.
So can your plan sustain a longer life than normal? So that's the L.
Okay.
The I would be inflation.
Okay.
And over the last few years, that's been a huge topic. While the 100-year rate is still somewhere around 3%, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe 3.5 or so.
Yep.
But over the last last few years, it's been astronomical, as high as, what did it get?
Almost 9%.
Almost
at one
9%.
point.
Crazy. Okay.
So people that are retired already on a fixed income, going to the grocery store, going to the pump, people that aren't retired that are getting mortgages and buying homes, buying cars, it is a major impact on how much you can save towards retirement. So can your plan be stress test against inflation? That's the I.
Okay.
The next one is S, stock market risk.
Okay.
Are you taking on the amount of risk that you're comfortable with, Cynthia? Everyone is different. There isn't a right answer. It doesn't matter how old you are. We use the analogy, or how young you are. The analogy of driving a car. How fast do you want to drive your portfolio? Do you want to drive it at 85 and be on the highway going like crazy and take a lot of risk? Or do you want to be more of a 25-mile-an-hour side street driver and be more conservative? Again, in my opinion, it doesn't matter on your age. It's whatever your own risk tolerance is. But once you understand that, now you have to make sure that your portfolio is actually driving at that speed you want.
Yes.
And I would say 9 times out of 10, people have said, well, I'd like to be a 45-mile-an-hour driver. And we do an analysis in the Maine Money Report, and their portfolio is driving at 78 miles an hour.
Yeah, even higher.
Yeah, even higher.
Wow.
And then the T is taxes.
Yes.
The ugly topic of taxes. As some may or may not know, Uncle Sam is a silent partner in our retirement, in a lot of our retirement accounts.
Yes, he is.
And tax rates change all the time, up and down. And right now we're in some historically low tax rates over the last decade. But if you look at history, and sometimes history repeats itself, there's a big argument that taxes will be going up.
Yes.
I also have to add, there's another pitfall in retirement, and that is it's called a sequence of return risk.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about that.
All right, so basically the sequence of return risk is it can be how much you're taking out of your account, but it's when you're taking your money out of your account. So I'll give you an example.
Okay.
If you started your retirement, let's say in the 1990, and you took out a certain dollar amount, we'll just say 5% every year from your account, you're pretty much keeping ahead of everything, and by the year 2000, you still got plenty of money in that account. But what if you started to take your retirement in the year 2000?
Oh boy.
What happened in the year 2000? Well, let's see, we had a down market in 2000.
Yep.
Y2K.
Yeah, Y2K, then we had the
Yeah.
9/11, and then we had a
Yes.
recession.
Yes.
And then what happened in 2008?
Ooh.
Another.
And the bottom was March of 2009. That was a very tough
That was dark.
decade.
So what happens is even if you kept it at 5%, and we've run the numbers, you're going to run out of money quite quickly, because every time you take out when it's a down year, you're exacerbating the situation. You're adding to that loss.
Wow.
So we don't like that in our when we're planning. We want to make sure that there's enough money in an area that you cannot lose money on, and then we can do some growth, but also be very tactical and not passive in terms of investing.
So losses hurt more than gains help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Very important things to think about. Well, we only have about a minute left of the show, and I can't believe how fast the time goes every single time that we're together. So, Adam, thank you so much, and Jordan, thank you so much.
Well, we would like to thank you for taking time today and spending all this with us, and everyone at home. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to us babble.
Yep.
And we hope to hear from you soon. And Cynthia, thanks again.
And
You
make
are
sure
so
you see us next week.
I love that. To our viewers at home, the number to call is on your screen, 888-462-7839. You deserve to have the Maine Money Report crafted for you. Once again, all you have to do is call in, take advantage of this complimentary consultation, 888-462-7839, or grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Maine Financial Group's landing page. You can schedule your time accordingly. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you back 1 week from today on the Maine Money Show, where Wall Street meets Main Street. Take care.